The following is a pre-recorded show. Welcome to Winning in Retirement with your host, Brian Akers, certified financial planner professional and founder of Akers Financial Group. Now, helping you win in your retirement, here's Brian Akers.
Hello, I'm Brian Akers. Today I have certified financial planner Alex Monk here on our show, Winning in Retirement. Alex Monk, good morning.
Brian, how you doing, man?
I'm doing okay. Now, today's show is about you. And what we're going to try to do today is to turn your retirement dreams into a retirement reality. And we have certified financial planner practitioner Alex Monk right here live with me. We're actually face-to-face in our studio, which is pretty cool. Hopefully you guys are enjoying our show. You can always go to our website at akersfinancialgroup.com to check us out if you miss anything as we talk today. All right, Alex, you ready to go?
You said the show's about me?
No, it's not about you. It's about us and really everyone. When you think about it, you want to turn your dreams of retirement into a reality. We all have those dreams, you know. Go ahead, close your eyes and visualize those dreams.
Unless you're driving. Yeah,
that's very true. You probably don't want to do that. And a lot of people are driving and listening to the show right now. So keep your eyes open, but think about those dreams. What does it look like? When you think about retirement, what kind of photos or pictures go through your head?
I mean, you know where I'm at in my brain. I'm on the golf course, a little pickleball in the afternoon, lunch in between.
Are you a pickleball guy already?
Not yet. I have the paddles, but haven't used them.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what it means to me. I guess coffee and watching water somewhere would be nice.
Yeah?
Yeah. All right, so the show is called Turn Your Retirement Dreams into a Retirement Reality. So what we've done is this. We have our show in 4 quarters because it's a winning show. It's a winning in retirement show. These 4 quarters, we put together bits of information that you need to listen to. And what we're going to do is this today. What we're going to do is want you to look ahead and think about, what if I was retiring right now? Now, some of you, this might be actually happening, where you're going to retire right now. Now, this could be your retirement in the near future or in the far future. But think about it this way. Turning those retirement dreams into reality takes work, doesn't it, Monk?
Oh, yeah. And you got to do a lot of things, right? So our show's broken up into these 4 quarters, but it's just like the different phases of life, right? And retirement's the 3rd to 4th quarter, and that's where all the winning happens.
Yeah, 3rd to 4th quarter. What happens, I think, is retirement. Everybody wants it to be right at 2nd quarter, but reality is a little differently because the reality is this: is that you got to take those dreams and then bring them back into reality of how to get there. And so, in the show today is this: we took time together to make a great show. But this show is going to be about calculating, figuring, thinking, taking reality and saying, well, what is the real numbers? How can you achieve what you want to do? Because we all have these retirement dreams. We all do. What we need to do is try to make them real. And it all begins with something called living within your means.
Yeah. And finding a good team to be around you. Because if you're out there working and you're not a financial expert or a certified financial planner, in our case, Brian, you probably don't do this every day.
Right. So you retire once, and you want to retire once only and not have to unretire.
A lot of people have anxiety about it.
Well, they do, especially those that work a lot or those that have their job where the job is who they are. Other people can't wait to retire. They have that day basically on a countdown thing on their app on their phone saying, I'm retiring on this day, and they count it down, right?
And it's different for everyone because there's mixed emotion, all different things happening because you could be leaving some people you used to see for 30, 40 years.
Yeah, and that'd be hard to miss them. Then you have to have the retirement luncheons. That's what a lot of people try to do. My advice that I give to people is this, is that the day you retire, it takes about 2 years until retirement becomes normal, and then you can't even remember how you fit work into the life that you live.
Yeah, so you retire, and then you do all these things that you've been putting off, like clean the garage out, maybe put your parent in assisted living, whatever it may be. And you're just so busy, and then you get caught up, and it's like, oh, now what am I going to do?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you might have noticed that I asked Alex about living within your means, and he changed the subject on me. Do you know what? Clients do this all the time, but reality of retirement is really starting with, what do you need? What is your lifestyle? What does it cost? What are your numbers? And what's that word that people use?
Budget.
Ooh. I should have evil music play when I say budget,
I think my wife has a panic attack when that word comes up.
Oh, yeah. Well, The idea of living within your means makes more sense to me, and that is, can you save each and every month towards your goals? Is there extra money? Now, in reality, most of the time we spend, and then there's nothing left over. So we got to develop habits of saving first and throwing that money towards your goals and towards your retirement. The only way to have money in retirement is if you already put it there.
Yep. And well, I mean, if you don't want to save for retirement, that's fine. But you can't have any bills, right? So if you can live for free, you're good.
Right. So what we try to do is get you out of debt by retirement, or sooner, of course, because that could be one of the best investments out there, is to pay off your debt. By getting out of debt, you'll then have the cash flow to save.
Yeah, so a credit card is something called a guarantee that they're going to charge you interest if it's not a promo or whatever.
Yeah, so let's say you have a store card and you're paying 25% interest and you let it go 1 month and all of a sudden the interest hits and you see that high number. Now, you went to that store because of the discount and you got a little freebies for using their card, but then boom, you got the interest rate that first month and it keeps going. And
what they charge you in 1 month would be what you might earn in the bank over 40 years at current rates.
You had to bring up low interest rates too. We're going to save that for later in the show. But let's talk about this. So you have these dreams about retirement. Now, whatever it is, a lot of it costs money. Some of it doesn't. But it's this lifestyle of things that we want to do. We want to have time to do it, and we need the money to do it. So in retirement, there's that first big chunk of retirement where you're sort of just going and doing things and living the dreams and sort of like a bucket list that you put together.
Yeah, or, pinch hitting and taking care of the grandkids, and then they grow up, whatever the scenario it is. I always tell people, Brian, I'm like, look, I can tell you how much money you have and how much you can survive on, but I can't tell you what to spend it on.
Right. But I found that those that are most prepared for retirement have transitioned from spending their money accumulating things to saving their money to accumulate lifestyle and things in the future and experiences in the future. Basically, they stop accumulating things that they probably really don't need, and they learn to save money.
Yep. And then that also brings the budget down when there's not an Amazon package every day.
It does, but you need it.
Yeah.
But do you really need it? Think about just habits that you have that cost $10 a day, $20 a day, $100 a week. And if those stopped and you save that money, you don't save it tomorrow or start tomorrow, but you start right now and make the change. This can take that dream into a reality, but you have to start today. Don't put anything off.
Yeah, and the longer you wait to start, the harder it is because you need time, right? Investing takes time. Unless you hit some lucky bingo thing or whatever.
Absolutely.
It takes time.
Right. And so what we do as retirement and financial planning advisors is this. We talk to people about where they are and where they need to be. What I mean by that is this. Your budget, your flow of money, you need to know where it's going. Sometimes you might need to look at those credit card statements, your bank statements. You might need to check out just the bills that come in and write them all down at least once a year and take it serious that you need to know your numbers. So you can say, well, I do live within my means. I am becoming a saver. That is one of the key components of having that retirement reality come sooner in your life, is to become a saver sooner in your life.
And there's a difference between knowing your numbers, checking your accounts, and then the people that check it every single day. Because if you do that, you're going to drive yourself crazy.
Yeah, there's sort of a balance to that, right?
Right.
But that's like anything in life. The more balance you have, there's going to be an enjoyment of the process, of the journey getting there, and the retirement. Some people might have too much into that goal of retirement where they sacrifice everything and don't enjoy the life they have in front of them.
Yeah, and it's really sad when they don't live. That's always tough. So I agree.
You're saying people that saved and did not do any balance of life, and then they hit the retirement year and then they pass away too soon. So what we're trying to say there is, in your budget, make sure you do budget for some fun, for some enjoyment, for checking out the retirement dreams a little bit earlier so you can say, hey, yeah, that is reality. I like that part of Florida. I like that part of Alaska. I like I'm part of Canada or not. Balancing the life out so you enjoy now and also can enjoy some later.
I refer to that as memory investing.
Memory investing?
Also valuable.
You stole that from me. My thought is this. Make memories when you have your family and kids around, because those memories are just wonderful to have. It does cost money, so it has to be part of your budget, but those memories that you make last a lifetime.
Yeah, and our whole goal is to get people to the point where they don't worry about the money.
Yeah.
that's the goal, right? Is to enjoy the other things, not the money. And that's why you need someone that's done it. I mean, how many people you have retire this week?
I had 3 retired 12/31, and then I have a multiple that we're working on every month this spring. People are going to pull the plug and retire, fully retire, and hopefully just, stay retired for the rest of their life. I was thinking about just kids and their memories, and then you have your retirement savings and how you have to balance. And sometimes you have goals for your kids, and that becomes like imbalance where you put all your money towards them, and then you don't think about your retirement. The reality is there has to be a balance, but that balance only starts after you get your finances in order. So just generally, if you're thinking about your future, think about your now. You need to make sure you have some cash. You need to make sure you've gotten rid of all the high interest debt. Build cash flow. The only debt you probably should have is asset-based debt, a mortgage, car, things like that, but nothing else, so that you have free cash flow that you can put away and let that money grow. You do need to save from day one in your job, especially the match. You got to build this money for your future.
Yeah. And that way you have something to look forward to. Like, why work hard your whole life if you don't get to enjoy it?
Yeah, and some might be thinking, well, I don't make enough. Well, the reality is you got to figure it out. Saving a little bit works very well. I was giving an example to a client earlier this week, and that they make about $36,000 a year, and they're saying, "Oh, I can't save off of that." I said, "Well, amazing thing is that to retire on $36,000 a year, you don't have to save a lot to retire on $36,000 a year." So it works out. The fact that you can't save a lot, you don't need a lot if you can live within that budget. So living within that pay range that you make is the beginning of making that life work out well financially.
Yep. And then sometimes you may have to change jobs or do something else.
Careers, or you think about, do I go to trade school? What do I do that makes the money I need to do? And do the work it takes to be able to make the money that's going to help you reach those retirement goals. Because we all want you in retirement to have this thought where your biggest worry of the day is where you're going to drink your morning cup of coffee, where every day seems like a Saturday, free of stress. Your retirement income and investments are taken care of by a team of advisors at Akers Financial Group. If this is the future you want, it's not too late. We want to provide this for you by a free initial meeting with one of our team of advisors. Go ahead and call Akers Financial Group to schedule your free meeting. Give us a call at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-WIN-RETIRE. When you call, leave us a voice message, and we'll give you a call back on Monday to schedule a phone meeting, virtual Zoom, or an in-person meeting with one of our team of advisors. Start planning for your retirement now by calling 833-946-7384 or visit our website at akersfinancialgroup.com. Where will retirement income come from? We'll talk about that in the second quarter.
You're listening to a pre-recorded show. Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. Call 833-WIN-RETIRE now to schedule a visit with Brian and his team and begin winning in retirement. Once again, here's Brian Akers.
Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. I'm your host, Brian Akers. I'm founder and president of Akers Financial Group. And here with me today is Alex Monk. We're both certified financial planner practitioners, which are financial advisors. This show is Winning in Retirement. We want you to win in retirement. And today's show is about turning your retirement dreams into a retirement reality. And so what we did in the first quarter is just talk about the basics of that. And then here in the second quarter, we got this first question to start out with, Monk, is where will your retirement income come from?
Well, that's a good question.
You don't have a clue?
But didn't you, I remember talking to you yesterday. You had someone just retire this week.
Yeah, I had a brand new client. They called in and scheduled a meeting, and that was a Zoom meeting, and that was actually yesterday, that meeting. And they live 2 hours away here in Maryland, and we just had a Zoom meeting to have an initial talk to see if we were a good fit as a financial advisor for them. And so they retired. They had done the normal work their life, save their money. They had their money through the 401k plans, and they went and they did the Zoom with the free advisors through work and through the other brokerage. I'm not sure. I'm not going to say
name dropping.
Not dropping names, and they got the free advice, and then they're like, it's just not enough. And so over time, they ended up coming to us for a talk. And what happened was this. is that they retired because they felt like they were in good enough shape, and then they wanted a second opinion. And that's a wonderful way to start when we're talking with people about their retirement planning. Now, in this case, we're talking to a month after they were just retired. I'm a little leery of the call. It's like, oh no, are they really interested in advice? Because they already did it. They already pulled the plug. And I'm hoping as I go through the meeting that they're going to say the right answers so I can say, yes, you're okay, which is hard to do in the first meeting. And I told them that I'm glad they could provide me a lot of information for the first meeting. Most people don't, but they did. And so I looked at it all and I said, it looks like you're in a good direction and retirement does fit for you because you guys are savers. What I tell people is this: if you have your mortgage paid off or saved well and have a great cash flow, it's going to be very easy for a financial advisor to say, yes, you can retire. But the reality is that you then got to make a lot of decisions. Where are you going to take this money from? Where are you going to get your retirement income? What's it going to be? Are you going to take dividends? Are you going to take withdrawals? What's going to go on? And so it becomes a financial plan where you have to look at each and everything that they accumulate during their life and come back with an answer saying, this account, we're going to do this with it because this will fit this goal. It's the most efficient tax decision. And then we bring it all together. That's what retirement planning does. I don't want to say it's too late because they already retired, and it's not too late to bring in an advisor. But what happens is that coming in right after they retired, we're able to then implement over the next few years the retirement plan to make everything work to last a lifetime.
Yeah, I mean, the earlier the better. Maybe that wasn't the best example since they...
Well, halfway through, about 20 minutes in, I'm going, all right, so this is going to be okay. They're not. I've had people just, can you rubber stamp that I'm okay? And the hardest part is usually people like that aren't okay. Everything's too tight. Because imagine you plan your own retirement and you figure out, I can make this much money and that's my expense right now. Everything's great. And there's no room for inflation, for cost of living, for life changing over the next 12 years, for the idea that health care might actually go up, which it will. Having a mortgage, having debts, having all these responsibilities, and then they give up their best paying job to then go into retirement.
Yeah, and I don't really get that. It's like, hey, but we do this every day. So I like the planning part. I like putting that puzzle together, figuring out where the taxes fit in. So I love that.
But how do you plan your vacations? Do you get on the plane and then as you land, you hope to get a hotel and get a reservation and just figure life out after you land? Or what do you do?
I asked my wife where we're going.
Okay, she's already planned it.
It's already done.
Yeah, and when you know your destination and you have that planned out, guess what? You'll probably get there because you know where you're going. You have things worked out. And that's exactly what retirement planning should be like, is where you think about it and you have it worked out. One of the most important things to make you feel good about retirement is to know where your retirement income is going to come from. Because you work, you basically have your income all from your labor, from your effort, from you can just work harder, do a few more hours, you can sell a couple more things, whatever your job is, and then you make more money and you know it's coming in. When you say, I resigned this coming date, that is no longer coming in. Where is your money going to come from? You got to get that lined up.
Yeah, and avoid major mistakes like early withdrawals that are huge. So if you need to take 10% of your net worth out the first year to live, you need to pump the brakes.
Yeah, 10% is a no-go, not even a start. If you're at a 4% rate, you've probably seen some articles that 4% doesn't work anymore. I disagree with that. I think the idea is you got to work a little harder to make 4% work more. But some of the reality right now is like I've had clients apply for Social Security a couple months ahead of time, and still waiting. I mean, it's like there is 10,000 people a day applying for Social Security. In my opinion, is it's going to take some time for them to get it processed and get going. Once you get started, they'll actually back pay you. But you got to have enough cash to get through a month or two of retirement before Social Security kicks in or whatever else might kick in. Yeah. An interesting fact is that if you work for the federal government, your pension gets recalculated over the first 6 to 8 months after you retire.
I know, then they change it.
They change it and adjust it, and then they come back and pay you the difference. So you need some cash to be able to make it through those early months.
And they're back up right now. I have a guy that's retired at the year end, and the HR office said, Yeah, we're not really sure when the pension will start, but just you don't need to show up anymore, and it'll work out.
So pension won't start the first day of the month. Like if you retire on the 30th and you want the check on the 1st, it used to be like that. The pension check would show up. But the reality is it might not show up for a couple months. So you got to be ready for that by having cash or having some extra money. And one of the things that we do is we set up accounts, and those accounts have things called move money forms. They also have the withdrawal where we send you money every month. We take the gross amount, we take the federal and the Maryland taxes. We calculate all that into the retirement income plan. But we set up the move money form for situations like this where, oh, that pension check didn't show up. I need an extra $3,000. And then we can send it on demand from the client. So these are little things that you might not know about how to get retirement income.
So one of my favorite things to do, like for the first year of retirement, is, obviously plan ahead, but have at least, depending on the budget, 50 to 100 grand in cash. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to say, okay, let's see where you're at in 6 months, and then let's see where you're at in another 6 months. And that number that we're deficiting or taking out, that's what we need.
Right, because you think about it, a lot of times your last year is your most highest income year because you might get leave, sick leave, you might get vacation time. You have that, then you have your pension, you have your salary. It could be your highest taxable year, and we want to throw taxation to begin January of the year after you retire. So if you retire July 1st of 22, you might want to take that anything that's taxable in January of 23 as an example.
Yep, or especially with backdating your Social Security. I love to play that game. Mm-hmm. Just move it over next year.
Well, like I had a client come in and talk like probably 2 weeks ago, and they're like, I'm disabled. I can't go back to work. The company's trying to force me back to work. What do I do? And my thing is, well, you got three options. One is you got to pursue the disability idea. You got to do all the paperwork that takes, and that takes a while. Then you got to be ready in case they force you into retirement. And then you got to know, are you really ready to retire? And so it's 3 tracks they had to get ready for, and they had to do homework where they go and call HR and really get going on the disability side.
And disability is not an easy thing.
It's not quick at all. One of the things that we've learned over the years is that if you want to apply for Social Security disability, the sooner you apply, the better. Typically, it's best if your doctor supports that kind of application. The doctor says you really shouldn't work, and you ask the doctor, well, if I go through Social Security disability, they're going to ask questions. Do you think I should apply based on my medical history? And the doctor says yes, then I'd say you need to apply for Social Security disability right away so you get a starting date.
Yeah, and then we're talking about big decisions here, and some of them are irrevocable, like pension election.
Pension election, irrevocable. If you check single life, be real careful before you do that. If you have a spouse that relies on your income, we really like joint and survivor because of the guaranteed money that lasts a lifetime. Imagine that money that'll last as long as you do if you live into your hundreds. If you do joint survivor, as one of you lives into your age 100 or more.
Yeah, or you hear some people that are like, well, I'll buy life insurance with the difference, and then they go through underwriting and find out that's not happening.
If they had the life insurance in place before you make that election, numbers work out. If you're trying to buy it at retirement age, it's a tough number to beat when it comes to something called pension maximization. All right, so the topic is retirement income. Where would it come from? Well, imagine if you have a personal account with some stocks and you're earning dividends. And one of the things that you can do is this. You're already paying tax on that dividend. Why not have the dividend just go into your checking for a while? And so instead of reinvesting, have it come in. You're already paying tax on it. So you don't change your taxation, but that flow of the dividend can be added to your savings just with some quick paperwork and some design where you stop reinvesting and have it sent to you.
Yeah, I mean, if you're paying tax on it, you should spend it.
That'd be one of the easiest first pieces to do when you are setting up your retirement income.
That sounds like milking the cow, not eating the hamburger. So yeah. I love that one.
Absolutely. So where will your retirement income come from? Have you done the work it takes to have money in place to be able to draw? Do you have multiple sources? Do you have tax-free like Roth? Do you have pre-tax like a 401k pre-tax? Or do you have personal savings? Have you done all the work it takes so that you can have this kind of income?
It's a lot. Got to be ready.
Yeah. So what happens is that during your 60s, 70s, and 80s, you got to build a plan that ties into all your choices during those days. If you're in your 60s, typically what we recommend is try to live off the interest, the dividends, and take small withdrawals, and try to wait a little longer if you can.
Absolutely. And know where your first check, your second check is coming from.
Absolutely. Now, at Akers Financial Group, we're local, we're independent. We don't report to a big company on Wall Street. We report to you. We have offices in Forest Hill and Lutherville, and you can tell by my example that we have clients all around Maryland and all around the country and a few around the world. Thankfully, through technology, it's like we're in their living room talking. It's pretty nice. You can meet with one of us, one of our financial advisors, anytime. All you got to do is begin that process by giving us a call. You can call us at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-WIN-RETIRE. When you call, you can leave us a voice message, and we'll give you a call back on Monday to set up one of those in-person meetings with you to talk about your exact situation. Start planning for your retirement now. Give us a call at 833-946-7384 or go to our website at akersfinancialgroup.com. Does your money match your needs? We will explain in the third quarter.
You're listening to a pre-recorded show. Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. Call 833-WIN-RETIRE now to schedule a visit with Brian and his team and begin winning in retirement. Once again, here's Brian Akers.
Welcome back to the second half of Winning in Retirement. You can give us a call anytime to talk with one of us. You can just give us a call at our office at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's the best way to call our offices. But our website, akersfinancialgroup.com, is pretty good. You ought to give us a look there and just check out what's going on at akersfinancialgroup.com, especially the radio tab. You can find out more about our shows in the past and about when we're on live every Saturday, and then how you can hear the recordings that we have set up right there. So, hey, Alex Monk, are you ready to go here in the second half?
Oh, yeah. I just have my orange slices. Let's do it.
You're an orange slice halftime guy? I thought as you got older, the orange slices go away, which is the most disappointing thing about going from rec to high school is you don't get fed at halftime.
No, that's why I quit playing soccer.
No, I coach basketball, and there's some players, you can just tell they need food. So you go to the food stand, back when they used to have those things, and buy them a hot dog, and this thing play the second half. All right, are you guys ready for the second half? This show that we put together is this. We want to turn your retirement dreams into a retirement reality. That is something that we put together in the show. So far, we've been talking about just the idea of budgeting, cash flow, living within your means that helps you set aside money to reach that reality. And then we talked about some cases where we're working on about how to draw income and when to get that first check. Now, here in the third quarter, we're starting out with this. Does your money match your needs? What's your thoughts, Alex?
You know, this one, it's funny, Brian, you just mentioned being a coach, and for clients that we, get together with before and we're preparing for retirement, it's like practice, right?
Yep.
And we know the game plan because we're expecting what's going to happen 6 months in advance. And we have that first check. Yeah. And they know it's easy because it's like, whoa, I've been expecting it. It's not this huge change. But you need a coach, right? I mean, somebody that's been there before that has that foresight. And that's the biggest part of financial planning is not doing something you've never done before and will only do once alone.
Yeah, it's like the conversation about should I keep my money at a 401k or bring it to an IRA where the advisor has more control? And I say, well, if you want us to be the advisor with the control of sending you money, the only way I can do that, and I can do it for you, is if we are the advisor and the money rolls out to where we can invest it for you. They do pay money to have us advise, and that's what an advisor should be worth what you pay them. They should add value to your situation, or it's not worth it. The same thing is free advice is probably what you pay for, right?
Yeah, and we don't report to the big firm on Wall Street, right? We're local, so it's our clients that we have to answer to.
Absolutely.
It's not just some random kid in a call center.
No, we got to see them face to face, Zoom or person, right?
Right.
And you're talking to them about their exact situation. And in that meeting, there is no other situation that matters because no one's going to care about the money more than you do. But we got to be alongside of you. We got to be there. So does your money match your needs? This could go in many directions. So imagine that your money might be what you've saved, where you put your money, how you've saved money and built your net worth over your career. Now, does it match your needs? If you have land, can that draw income to live off of? It's not easy. It takes years to develop land into income. Do you have investments that are designed for growth and you can't take dividends because they don't pay a dividend? Does your money match your needs? So this is all about implementing what a client has into a retirement portfolio that's going to give them what they need.
And your needs, that's a big thing. That's cash flow, right? So if you have a $4 million piece of property, just let's call it land, and there's nothing on it, you got to pay taxes, et cetera, and you're not getting anything. Now, on paper, you may look very wealthy, but if you need money every month, that's the wrong asset to hold for you.
Well, it's a lot of real estate people we work with, they become cash poor because they put a lot of money into the real estate to make that investment. And when it pays off, it does very, very well. And typically what we do is we try to keep some cash so they won't be cash poor in the future. Now, this happens with everyone. Some people might work with a company their whole career and they have all their money in that company's stock. There might be people that have put money in the bank and all their money is in the bank. And right now, they're not really earning interest to live off of. There is where your money is, but does it match your need? That might be different than what you're comfortable with. And that's why you need an advisor.
And most likely, people don't really know. I mean,
they know what they're working on. They know their focus, but they don't know everything else, right?
I mean, how many people have you met with, let's just say in the last 3 months, that didn't understand what a rollover was?
I just had one of those. Just 3 days. What's today? Oh yeah, just 3 days ago, and that was I have a 401k at work. Is there still a 60-day rollover so I can pull it out? And I'm like, well, you don't have to pull it out. It can stay there. Oh, really? Yeah, it can stay there. And we need to see how they invest, what your choices are. You need to look at the idea of doing a direct rollover where it goes from retirement to an individual retirement account. There's cost to that. You need to know what the costs are, but understand there's a lot of choice based on the design, what you want. And you got to weigh those factors out on what's the best decision in your situation. If someone's under 59 and a half and they're retiring, we leave a lot of money at the 401k because after you're 55, you can take money out directly from a 401k and avoid a 10% penalty.
Most people don't know that. And there's other ways around it too.
There is, but we'll keep those in our pocket. The secrets of retirement.
Well, it's such a big deal. And some people get a little nervous, like Aaron there. They think they have this, whatever, scarlet letter because they have 10 grand in credit card debt.
Yeah.
Who knows? They're prejudging themselves just based on what they know.
Yeah, it's like they start out the conversation of, I'm not sure if I need a financial advisor. How do you handle that question?
I say, okay, well, why are you here?
You came through the door, you gave us a call. There's always a reason. And our answer is almost everyone needs a financial advisor, someone to run ideas by, someone to talk about, someone to say, are you okay? Someone to give you a second opinion, someone to take care of your spouse if you're not there because maybe you have done an incredible job and you need that handoff if something happened to you. There's many reasons people come in, even some of the people we have as clients that are investment people. Some people are borderline real estate moguls, I guess you call them. We don't have too many moguls, but we have people that have done very well in real estate. We have people that have done well with companies. Some have done well in their own trading. Some are accountants. Some are lawyers, all kinds of situations.
Yeah, and everyone's got a different background too. So we do this all day long, right? So my mailbox is constantly full with retirement articles, all types of things. I think my mail lady thinks I'm 70.
You get AARP already?
I get AARP. I get all this, assisted living because, they're looking at my search history. I've already done the research.
Yeah. Well, so what happens in this show today is we're trying to turn your retirement dreams into a retirement reality. So if you are going to try to retire right now, or if you just retired, it's real. Now, what do you do? Do you know where that first check is coming from? Second check, third check? Now, what are your thoughts, Alex, when it comes to how do you work this out for clients?
So it's different in every scenario, depending on what their cash flow is like, what their need is. Ideally, they have a whole year or so in the bank already, or we know where it's going to come from. And then we look at, all right, where's our fixed income sources? Like Social Security. Yeah. Do they have a pension? I had one client. She's like, yeah, I thought I worked for the state of Maryland. I should get a pension. She's 67 at this time. And so I'm like, well, we need to call them.
Yeah. Well, I had a client get a notice from Social Security saying that you had worked from a company in the 80s and that there's a pension in the guaranteed pension fund from the federal government. And so we were going through the process of helping them get in contact and to find out, does that mean anything? Works out to be a couple $100 a month, but it's a couple $100 a month that we found.
I'll take it.
Yeah. I was thinking about all these different cases where we're doing financial planning. I had this one case where this lady had been married, went back to her maiden name, and then married, divorced, went back to her maiden name, and then remarried. So she has multiple names, and then she lived in multiple states. And so once we start looking at the paper trail, we decided to search unclaimed property in every state she ever lived, and we kept finding money. It was really fun to say, oh, we found another one for you. And so it was neat to create and to hear their history and to figure out what to do. So when you think about, does your money match your needs? Knowing where your money is very important. There are many people that aren't sure where all their money is. Now, some of them have been savers. Maybe their parents were savers, and they might have inherited money from them. So if you had parents that did incredibly well at saving, many times back in the 60s and 70s, they did a lot of drip plans. Do you know what a drip plan is, Alex?
Dividend reinvestment program.
I thought you were too young for that. That was good. So dividend reinvestment program meant that you put $25 in or whatever that you did every month, and then you add some dividends, and it would grow over time, which was really nice, and a lot of dividend-paying stocks during that period of time. But the hard part is every stock you had its own history, had its own cost basis history, and you had money everywhere. And then if we get called in after someone passes away with that kind of collection, we have to find the money, which could take a couple years waiting for forms to show up in the mailbox.
Yeah. Every company makes up their own rules.
Yeah. Typically, if someone comes in and they have a collection of drip plans, what we'll do is start figuring out how to hold them all together in a brokerage account so that we can actually have that money. You can still reinvest and just all be in one place so that if something ever happened to someone, they can go from there. Also, we can turn the dividends into income and have one check a month. We try to do that also.
Yep. And we can put beneficiaries on it, have it pass outside of program. We can do all kinds of fun stuff when you do things the right way.
Now, when we think about does your money match your needs, your risk level in your money has to match your needs also.
Absolutely. If you are all in and you need to take money and things are down, guess what? You're locking in that loss, and I hate that.
When the market's up, it's a great time to take some winning off the table, take that money, set it aside, get 6 months to a year ahead so that if the market dips down, you're not trying to sell at the bottom.
Right, and you want to balance your allocation too as certain assets run up and others don't.
Absolutely, because rebalancing is something we're not the biggest fan of doing it quarterly. We're a little leery of even doing it once a year, but every couple of years is definitely something you should do. And rebalancing is where is your money at, and is it the right level of risk for you? Now, as we're talking about financial planning, we want you to understand this, and that the best part of retirement is getting your retirement, your time back. You decide how to use it. Before retirement, your time is tied up with other commitments, mainly your job. A lot of that goes away at retirement. Your time is now consumed by things that you want to do. That's that retirement dream we're talking about. To begin winning in retirement, go ahead and give us a call at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-WIN-RETIRE. When you call, leave us a voice message, and one of our team of advisors will sit down and talk with you about your exact situation to take those retirement dreams into a retirement reality. That can be done in person, Zoom, or a phone call. We prefer Zoom or in person, of course, because we like to sit and have that talk about where you are now. Start planning for your retirement by giving us a call at 833-946-7384 or visit AkersFinancialGroup.com. What does the fourth quarter of our show and the fourth quarter of your life have in common? We'll explain. Not surprisingly, you probably already have it figured out. Yes, in the fourth quarter.
You're listening to a pre-recorded show. Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. Call 833-WIN-RETIRE now to schedule a visit with Brian and his team and begin winning in retirement. Once again, here's Brian Akers.
Thank you, Mr. Announcer, for welcoming us all back to Winning in Retirement. I'm the host, Brian Akers. Here with me today is Alex Monk. We're both certified financial planner practitioners that work for Akers Financial Group. Now, today's show is called retirement dreams, turning them into reality. So turning your retirement dreams into a retirement reality. This show, if you missed any part of it, you can go to our website, akersfinancialgroup.com. And on that website, we have a radio tab. You click that and you can see all the past shows down there, and you can listen to different topics and listen to how we do things, listen for advice, listen for information, and then begin to understand how we work with our clients. And then give us a call and sit down with one of our team of advisors and talk about your exact situation. All right, Alex, I got you a tough question here. Is what does the fourth quarter of our show and the fourth quarter of your life have in common?
Man, if we're going to relate it to games, Brian, I'd say the fourth quarter, if the fourth quarter is retirement, it's different for everybody, just like every different game you watch, right? So the fourth quarter always has different challenges and different perks. So depending on what the person's like, all these different things, it can be a drastically different scenario. You have an example of a good one recently?
I have a lot of them. So imagine that it's end of the third quarter. You put your 4 fingers up in the air. It's winning time. Typically, you have the lead. So when you're coaching and you have a lead and everything's in place, that is an example of someone that has a good plan. Someone that has the numbers worked out and we've gone through it and they're ready. They just need to go defensive. They need to be not too conservative, but aggressive enough to win and finish the game. So that's one version of fourth quarter. The other version of third quarter is, guys, we're still in this. Yes, we're down a little bit, but we got to hit some threes. Yes, I'm a basketball coach. We got to press up. We got to trap. We got to foul this person to come back. We hope that's not your retirement plan, where you got to make a comeback, where you might be down 30 or down 10. Hopefully only down 6. I don't like to be double figures going to fourth quarter. I do want to come from behind. And I want to take that lead. I don't want to just get close. Getting close is not good enough when you want to win.
But we've seen some people that have been behind going into the fourth quarter, and you do some things like maybe start a pension or Social Security while they're still working, and hyper accelerate death or debt.
Debt. We do not hyper accelerate death, only debt.
And we watch them, take the last 2 years super serious focus and come up with a early season Ravens comeback.
Yeah, I had this client where they're in trouble. The money's flying out the door. They're spending 12% a year, and in the second, third meeting, I'm like, the reality is you're running out of money. You got to stop. Now, we need to figure out where the money's going. So I don't like to control where you're spending your money, but where is it going? And then they start to explain all the extras. And they're giving money to kids. They're spending money on lots of travel, lots of extra spending. And they had to shrink that budget down incredibly. And now that was the retirement reality that they had to do because they were already retired. And they knew it wasn't going well because they made the assumption that if I make 10% a year, I can withdraw 10% a year, I'm fine. Now, some people have done that and gotten away with it, but that's getting away with it. It's almost like you make a one pass and you shoot, or if you take the riskiest option every time and you think you're going to always win, that's tough.
Yeah, but you just open yourself up for so many other risks. And going into that stage of life, you want to enjoy what you can. Because I don't know personally because I'm not that old, but I see people get tired. When you first meet someone to 10 years later, you can see what work does to them.
Yep.
And then they bounce back, their shoulders get up a little bit.
We can see when the stress goes away in those early retirement years that they're good.
Yeah, they send you funny pictures and emails and stuff like that. It's funny.
Yeah, and that they're not stressed out. Now, some that are stressed out, ones that are tight on their budget, they're looking at their accounts all the time. You try to have that pep talk. Well, you're okay. The money's flowing in. You can count on it. And that's why we have protected money to give us a level of fixed income that we can't outlive. And then we build portfolios that are diversified. In retirement portfolios, it's not designed to beat the market. It's designed to make sure it lasts a lifetime. It's a very different way of investing when you think about, I don't need to run the rat race. I don't need to be all in and hope that I can beat the S&P or stick with the S&P. Because you guys know the S&P had a negative decade from 2000 to 2010. Yeah,
that's dropped off the reports. That never happened.
Well, it did happen. And the reality is if you're facing retirement where the next 10 years your stock market does not perform, can your money still last? And my answer is we got to balance for all the situations, build a plan that'll take retirement dreams, make it a reality, and then be practical to make that money last a lifetime and make the defensive decisions, not like I call it holding the ball. You stall a little bit. You don't need to take another shot and give them another possession. You control the situation. You control the game. So like the Ravens running in the fourth quarter, they control the clock, give the other team less time to come back.
And it's funny because people, they know, right? Everybody knows that the stock market goes down for periods of time, right? I mean, everyone knows that.
Not going to happen to me.
But then we get into retirement and it's like, well, it's never going to go down.
Or they think they can guess and get out in time.
Right, but we don't want to do that. We want to do other things. So having a well-structured, well-thought-out portfolio, you're going to have cash or places to pull from for the income you need or for that double down to buy more stocks on the dip.
Yes, in your fourth quarter, you still need to know your goals. Goals lead to piles of money, buckets of money. It leads to purpose for your money. It gives us a time horizon, gives us a risk level to take, and then we build that out in your investment portfolio and help you make those decisions. That's what having a financial advisor alongside is there for you, to take those dreams into reality and then practically implement them over time. It's not just a plan like you might be able to get on a website or the freebie plans where they say, oh, here, your numbers look good. Goodbye. It's actually saying, well, you know that account there, you have 22 stocks in the buy, sell, hold analysis. Some of these stocks are not designed with the best case for growth in the future. You've had these stocks 30 years. You might have inherited your parents' portfolio, and it's not tied to what you need it to do.
And sometimes those legacy assets are, they have some type of other connection. So we have to structure things around them. Mm-hmm. And that's fine. That's why everyone's plan is a little bit different. And finding out where that money is key.
Yeah. There's so many things running through my head when I think about clients and situations. One of them is where they love a stock and they put so much money into that stock, it made them feel comfortable. The problem is that when an advisor looks at it, we think over-concentration, and that could change the reality of making that money last a lifetime. So you might need to sell even your favorite stock.
And GE would be a good example of that.
GE is a recent example. If you think back, I started back in '87, so there's many companies in Baltimore that I've had some situations where I remember giving the advice to people to sell, and some saying, "Oh no, I love this stock," and then it tanked, and then there's like, "Oh yeah, Brian, I should have done that." It's like, well, it's too late now.
And the same side where it goes up extremely, and still the right answer, right? You don't want to take that extra risk.
Yeah. So when we're thinking about the basics of this, when we're thinking about your retirement, is doubling your money a goal, or is it getting money that's going to last a lifetime? Making sure that your income and everything is stable, reliable, money that you're going to count on for that income for a lifetime.
Now, if you had your income, your budget, and then you figure out where all your income's coming from and you can sustain it, right? So you have this fixed income that's going to deal with your needs and combating with inflation, then you can take all the risk in the world with the other money.
Yeah, with a portion.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's where someone can trade on their own. They can have some fun with that as a side hobby, but not being the core.
Right.
So core is a key thing in investing. Having core money that's going to be there and designed to match your needs with the actual way you invest. And then you do satellite investing into different areas. Some people want to take less risk. So on the satellite side, you might buy FDIC or ladder fixed annuities in. On the other side, take more aggressive. You might pick robotic stocks or some other currency or things like that.
I mean, there's so many different assets out there right now. Information moves so quickly that you need somebody on your side that's seen it and is trying to learn it before you, because we don't want to be reactionary.
Yeah, very true. So today's show, we want you to dream. Yes, take time and think about what you want to do, what you want it to be, how you want to work in your retirement. And I want you to balance some of those thoughts every year. Have some of those experiences now and prepare for the future. That retirement reality is where we will stop our full-time job and then live off everything we built up during our career. It's something, it's like, you think about animals like ants and other things that prepare for winter. And then when winter comes, what they do is they live off of that during winter. Exact same thing talking about the fourth quarter. In the fourth quarter, if you built a good lead in the first three quarters, you can live off that lead in the fourth quarter. if you coming into fourth quarter and still a little short, there's got to be some beginning of the quarter hustle to get you back into the game, right?
I mean, it's usually a consequence of our actions.
It is. And so whatever quarter you're in, first, second, third, don't give up. Press. Let's get it going. Let's apply that press. Let's get to the place that you need to be. Many times it's as simple as plus and minus. Plus means more income, minus means less expense.
Are we pressing full court? Do you want to go overtime today, Brian?
Well, I go full court on an entry pass. I like to do more half court so that when we get the steal, we have the freedom to score. But that's just a basketball concept.
It really is good to see people come in and learn where their money is and see their plan come together and watch them become comfortable. It's one of my favorite things.
Yeah, you can see it in their eyes when they relax and they like take that breath and say, hey, yeah, things are good. And that's a great place you want them to be. And you want them to enjoy it and enjoy their good health. You can also tell the times in retirement when their health is not going well. We get those calls of injuries, strokes, other situations in our clients. Thankfully, we've done the plan ahead, and so we know how to handle what is needed in the worst of times. So retirement planning is for the dreams, but then retirement planning and good financial planning is covering the worst case scenarios also. So today's show, we talked about the dream side, the reality side, and making sure you can accomplish that. Alex, thank you for a good show.
My pleasure. Always fun.
It is fun. It's enjoyable. It's fun to enjoy a career where you're helping people reach the dreams that they have and then helping them implement it and carrying that through the rest of their life. So you can check out our website at akersfinancialgroup.com and find out more information. You also can begin retirement planning with us at Akers Financial Group with one of our team of advisors. Go ahead and give us a call, 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-WIN-RETIRE. When you call, leave a voice message, or if you go to the website, type your information in there and give us a quick download right there. And then one of our team members will give you a call on Monday to set up a time to sit with one of our team of advisors. Start planning now by giving us a call at 833-946-7384 or visit our website. That's Akers, A-K-E-R-S, financialgroup.com. Thank you for listening. I'm Brian Akers from Akers Financial Group, and we want you to be winning in retirement.
You've been listening to Winning in Retirement with your host, Brian Akers of Akers Financial Group. Brian Akers of Akers Financial Group is a registered representative offering securities through Kalos Capital Incorporated and investment advisory services through Kalos Management Incorporated. Akers Financial Group is not an affiliate or subsidiary of Kalos Capital or Kalos Management and does not provide tax and legal services. Advice given on winning in retirement is general in nature, and one should seek further advice from their financial advisor, broker, attorney, or tax accountant before investing. Be sure to read each prospectus carefully to understand all the risks associated with each investment.